What's going on, everybody? Another week in the books, another week of fun stuff to talk about. So let's do it. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Jake. This is Nerd Level Rising. Let's start with what I read this week. So I continued to chip away at Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. I don't have the book with me. I'll put the cover over here. This has been fun, man. It's still, I'm not much further than I was last week, so there's not a ton else to say. What I will say is I'm starting to kind of see where it's going. I'm starting to see some other ideas and themes being explored. I mentioned before, it's sort of some of the seeing the world through other people's eyes and learning it's not always what you think, right? Sometimes there's more going on. We're getting even deeper into that idea here as we get closer to the end. I think I'm about 3/4 of the way through now, so we're getting there, and I kind of have an idea where we might be headed for the end of the book, so that's kind of cool. I'm also chipping away at Return to Edan. This has been my ebook that I put up on my Kindle while I'm doing some cardio here and there, and that's been dark. It's dark. There's some dark stuff that happens in the first two books, but so far I'm about a quarter of the way through book 3 here, and wow, it's been crazy. So that has been it's been a super interesting read. I'm really enjoying that. I'm liking where it's picking up after the end of book 2, and we're really exploring the aftermath and sort of what happens after the war, right? A lot of times the war is the end of the story, and then we just kind of fade out. But this one, we got a whole book of what's happening afterwards. And something tells me there's going to be more fighting to come because it's already starting. Here it's already happening, or I guess continuing to happen from the climax of book 2. Some things are continuing, some things are evolving, and it's been super interesting. So that's been fun. And then I also have been working through One Piece, and I've made some really good progress. And I got some things to say about One Piece, man. So this week I read all of Water 7. The arc, not the entire saga. I read all of the Water 7 arc and all of the Enies Lobby arc. I actually finished Enies Lobby this morning, and I hate being an adult, man. I hate having responsibilities. I hate having other things that I need to do, because I desperately wanted to just continue reading and do all the post Enies Lobby stuff. It's only 10 or 11 chapters, but I know that's probably going to take me anywhere between half an hour to an hour to get through those, probably closer to an hour, because I would anticipate it's not super packed with just combat scenes, right? Usually the combat is faster to get through because it's not very much dialogue, but more dialogue heavy chapters take longer to get through. Probably take me an hour, maybe somewhere around there to get through post Enies Lobby. And I was I can't spend another hour reading today. I got to get some work done. So curses, but nonetheless, wow, man, wow. You know what? I might have to do a whole video talking about the Water 7 stuff, because I don't want to just sit here for a half an hour rambling about it, but this has been by far my favorite saga that we've gotten so far in this story. This is the most emotional I have been in any part of the story so far. This is the backstory I've been waiting for. It did not disappoint. It was amazing. Oda continues to be an absolute master of foreshadowing and character backstory and making you care about these people and having these really hard-hitting, really emotional moments, really poignant, profound moments with this humor that it never feels out of place. It never feels like it's undercutting any of the heavier stuff that's happening, but it's kind of like the first Law stuff, right? Where you have the really dark, grimdark stuff, but then the humor, and they both play off each other so well and highlight each other. The darkness makes the humor better. The humor makes the darkness feel darker. In One Piece, it's kind of similar, right? It's not dark per se. I mean, there's certainly dark things that are happening, don't get me wrong, but it's not grimdark by any means, but it is very heavy at times. But the really lighthearted, almost kind of juvenile humor, but not in a bad way at all, that it makes those heavy parts hit more, and the heavier things make the humor really stand out, and it's just been continued to be fantastic, and I think that every arc has gotten better on those fronts. But what I'll say about Water 7, this is it was really obvious to me here in this one, is that I think Water 7 was like 50 something chapters. Ennie's Lobby was 50 something. So we're talking about, over 100 chapters of story for these. And that's not even the entire saga, right? Like I said, there's the post Ennie's Lobby stuff that I imagine is going to wrap up some other little loose threads that I haven't quite gotten completed yet. But what I have noticed more than any other part of the story so far, it's so tight. Like the plot is so tight. Every single panel in every single chapter matters, and it's moving something forward, whether it's character arc or the plot, or it's revealing something about the backstory, or it's tying up this little thing that foreshadowed earlier. Like there's so much. I'm so impressed by how tight the plot is in this, with it still being so long. And it makes me think back to, the previous sagas. And I'm like, I think this is the tightest one, but nonetheless, like those other ones didn't feel dragged out and long and like they could have been cut down a ton, right? So I think about how much more of the story I have to go. I mean, I'm probably, a third of the way done through the story, something like that, roughly. And, which is crazy to say 400 and something chapters in, but like, it's not, I'm sitting here, I'm like, it's not going to be filler. Like, it's just, the story is just that long. The story that Oda wants to tell is just that long and in depth, and the story is not needlessly long. It's as long as it needs to be. And I'm really starting to feel confident in that. And it's just been such an amazing journey so far, and I can't wait to continue. So that's the reading plans for this coming week, right? Is to kind of keep moving through Starsight, keep moving through Return to Edan, finish up the post Ennie's Lobby stuff. It's the first thing I'm doing tomorrow when I wake up. And then after that, we get to jump in to Curse of the Mist Wraith. I am so excited. We finally get to start the massive Wars of Light and Shadow read along. It's going to be incredible. I'm really missing Janny Wirtz's writing. It's now been, I don't know, maybe almost exactly a month, something like that, since I finished up To Ride Hell's Chasm, and like I've been yearning for more Janny Wirtz ever since then. So it's time to get back there and just start. It's book one of this massive epic that is that's always really exciting, right? I love beginnings. I love a huge epic series, and I get to do both of those here this month. So Curse of the Mist Wraith will be the next thing we jump into, and that'll certainly take me a chunk of January, but I'm not complaining. That's all the book stuff. On the watching front, I didn't watch very much this week. I did finish up the one of the anime that had not finished from that season before was Blue Lock. It was extended a little. It was like 14 episodes long for this season, which is a weird length. Usually it's like 12 is the norm. Sometimes you'll get 13, but this one was 14 for whatever reason. And if you've been following along these updates, I've been saying the animation has not been good. There's a lot of cost cutting stuff happening, and I've been hoping that they were saving their budget for the last little bit of the season to just really bring it home strong. That's what I was hoping. And I'm getting there. I watch up, it's 14 episodes long, right? So I get through episode 12 and I'm like, it's still bad, right? Like I'm going to finish it because I'm this deep in, but this is disappointing. And then episode 13 was kind of the same. Like the story I was really enjoying the story and the character moments, but the visual presentation of it just wasn't great. And I'm like, all right, well, one more episode. And then they did it, right? I was right. They did it. Episode 14 was fantastic animation. Absolutely fantastic. The sound design was great. Everything about the production of that episode was just fantastic. And it really, really brought it home in a very satisfying way. It set up another season in a really satisfying way. It resolved some things. It opened up some new plot threads that they can explore that I think can be really, really intriguing to follow. And wow, I was so happy to see that because I loved season 1, man. I loved it. And season 2 was just kind of, it wasn't bad by any means, but it was just a little bit disappointing, especially considering, season 1 was pretty successful, it seemed like, and then just to have, the animation quality take such a hit there throughout season 2. So everybody who dropped off that one early, go back and finish it, man. It's very satisfying. It was awesome. So I did get to finish that, and that was great. Otherwise, everything else has kind of been done, and all the other animes have been done, and we're kind of this little waiting period before some new stuff starts here this upcoming week. So I was doing some extra reading, working through a little bit more of Edan. I did get back to my Yu-Gi-Oh! Rewatch. That's been fun. I was analyzing some ultrasound scans for my PhD project that is time consuming and tedious. And, it's something that it's a lot. It's just clicking, looking at the number, measuring this distance, right? Writing the number down. It's just a lot of that over and over and over and over. So it does require some focus, but it also, it isn't incredibly brain intensive, right? So I was able to have, I put Yu-Gi-Oh on in the background. I think there was like 7 or 8 episodes I think they went through while I was doing these ultrasound scans. It was actually yesterday that I was doing this. So that was nice to get back to that rewatch a little bit. And I was only like halfway watching it, right? Which is fine because I've seen this like 4 times already, but it was still just really fun to kind of have that going in. And it was great. So we continue to make our way through Battle City, and we are getting closer and closer to the end of season 2, which, season 3 is awesome also, right? So I'm excited to continue going through that. This week is when I get to start some of the new shows that are starting up. So that's exciting. We'll get to see, what is seemingly living up to the hype, right? At least at the start, and what is maybe not so much my thing. I always like to try a handful of stuff and then just kind of pick and choose what I want to continue watching from there. So that's the goal on that front. Otherwise, I don't have a ton of other stuff, right? No book mail this week. I didn't play any video games as much as I want to. It's just hard to find time for stuff. And like with New Year's this week, there was just more stuff going on with that, and, so tough to find the time. But as I'll talk about later this week, I have a video coming out. I'll talk about that a little bit more. Didn't really get to do other stuff, really. As I'm recording this on Saturday, I do get to play D&D tonight, so that'll be fun. But otherwise, other little hobby things, not so much. Live streams, it's been a really fun time on BookTube, man. Every week is a fun week on BookTube, but we got some really cool stuff. We got to do a little cover reveal party for Chance. And I think anybody who's watching my channel knows Chance's channel probably, right? So if not, make sure you go follow him, see his reading updates, see his writing updates. He's got a free Patreon now that's really awesome. You get some insights into the writing. He'll have some short stories and stuff like that as well that come out there. So make sure to go, is it subscribe or sign up? I guess sign up to the Patreon there. And the book cover is awesome. I'm so excited for him. He's such a good dude, and he's getting the chance lately to be on some other people's channels and talk about the story and talk about his writing process and his background, and that's just been awesome. So very excited for him. Should come out here in July. I know July 20 is the date that he is targeting there to release that book. So that's super cool. And then I got to be a guest on my buddy Chris over at the Bearded Book Beast. I got to be on Beast Friends Forever. That was so much fun. And I told him this too, man. Like, I needed that call, dude. I really needed it. I had been having a bad day. I was in a really bad mood. I don't like to talk about this really on the channel because it's just kind of a bummer for everybody. But I do occasionally have some depression stuff pop up, and like I was dealing with that day, and then when I got to talk to him, like it just made everything feel so much better while I was on that call. So and then he even we were texting for a while after the call too, and just talking about stuff, and it helped so much, man. Chris is like genuinely one of the best dudes that not only that I've gotten to meet on BookTube, but just that I've gotten the honor and privilege to meet and become friends with in life in general. So please go, check out his channel for sure. Watch the stream, and if you want to listen to me ramble, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but it was such a fun conversation, man. We talked about a bunch of stuff, and it was just great. So that was super fun. As this video comes out, I have not done this yet, but when the video comes out, the live stream will have already happened. I got to do NLR together with Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads, which is awesome that we finally were able to get that scheduled. But I've been trying to get it scheduled for a while, but it was like, my schedule was weird. I had some travel pop up. I had some stuff that just derailed things, and then the holidays, so it's just a lot of stuff, but we finally made it happen. And I hope it was awesome. I'm sure it will be. I'm looking forward to it. That as I'm recording this, that'll happen tomorrow. So that'll be super fun. And then an upcoming episode on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday the 8th, I get to do another NLR Together episode with the guys from Tutor Ramble, Austin and Rich. Those guys are so much fun to watch. I love their channel. I love everything that they're doing. And they just seem like some really cool dudes and really fun people to talk to. So I'm looking forward to that here this coming week. I have some other stuff, a couple other things scheduled. I got some other things in the works, working on scheduling some stuff with some guests that are very exciting. I can't wait to talk to them, and I can't wait to share those conversations with all of you guys. So stay tuned. We'll keep that under wraps for right now, but as things get a little bit closer, we'll announce those. That'll be awesome. Otherwise, I did do a little bit of writing this week. I'm trying to, as I'll talk about in an upcoming video, that's something I really want to do a better job of this year, is making time for that. So I did make a little bit of time. I didn't really get much, word count added. I went in and reworked a couple little things and did some outlining. So that was nice. It felt good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And now we just got to keep trying to make the time to be consistent with that. Talking to Chance about his book coming out soon is it's super inspiring, man. So I'm trying to make it happen. And that's about it, man. That's all I got. That's all I got for this week. We got getting back to school here this week. The school semester begins once again here on Monday. So I will be back to I teach a class as part of my responsibilities as a graduate assistant. So I'll be back to teaching. I'm not really taking any classes anymore. It's just full on research stuff at this point. So I'll have 2 weeks of teaching, and then we jump back into full data collection mode on the 20th is when we will start that. So more time commitment going back to the university here before too long, but that's all right. We'll make it work. So tell me about your week, man. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know how your week has been. Let me know what you're excited for in the coming week. Hit that thumbs up, like button on the video if you liked it. If you've not subscribed, you like the channel, you like what we're doing, subscribe. We're doing, again, I'm saying weird stuff. What I'm doing, I'm the only one here, right? There ain't nobody else here, unless you count all of my amazing guests and all the amazing people who comment. And I think we're all part of this, right? We're all doing this together at the end of the day. So, but yeah, talk to me in the comments, and I don't know. I guess that's it. I feel like I'm stumbling to the end of this. We're going to leave this in. That's what we do here, right? I don't edit anything, right? You guys know that by now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.